Hello and welcome back to another episode of Rennch. On today's show, I'm getting everything on the underside of the car ready for primer. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Michael. I'm your host. Behind me is a 1969 Porsche 911S. I've converted it over the last 2 years into a Porsche 911 ST, and I'm putting a twin-turbo Subaru EZ30R Flat 6 in it. If you are brand new to the channel, it is customary to tell me where you're from in the comments. Give me a little like and give me a subscribe. I've been working on this car for 2 years now, and the underside and inside the wheel wells is getting really, really close to primer. I have one more project that I started in the last video, and I'm gonna finish right now. And that is, I am recessing the front of the tunnel to better accommodate my coolant lines and fuel lines. So where I left it last episode, I experimented with it. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, and now I'm going to execute on it. I'm going to trim off any of the excess metal to the tunnel and build a piece that fits in and looks beautiful in that spot. My hope is to make it look really great when you look at it now, but more importantly, give me more room to operate on the front side of the car and also more room to actually tighten the nuts down on the inside of the tunnel, which is gonna prove to be a bit of a pain in the butt. So I'm gonna jump right into this thing by making a cardboard template of the piece of steel I need to cut and getting the thing tacked in. All right, I'm just gonna pull this thing out and then grind this thing down a little bit, and that'll give me a nice, clean spot to weld my plate into. All right, so we are really cleaned up here and it looks great. So I've got some cardboard and I'm gonna try to make a piece that fits here. It's not gonna be that hard, if I'm being honest. I think it's gonna be relatively easy. I'm mostly concerned about this, this curve up here. I'm really close. All I need to do is just put a piece here, a piece of tape that basically levels out the top, kind of like that. That's our template. All right, this thing is fitting great. I'm gonna move these holes like a 1/2 inch inboard. So I'm just gonna line up the center point on the inside edge of what I had before. NBD, as they say. That's no big deal. Oh. All right, first new holes drilled. They actually look better than I thought they were going to, like way straighter. Pretty good for eyeballing it. Try to deburr the inside of this thing a little bit. that's way better. It was super sharp. This is just a piece of foam with sandpaper on it. Really good for sanding the complex flares of a Porsche. So this is the original plate that I made out of aluminum, which bolted to the front. I don't need to bolt it anymore. I can obviously weld this piece in and have hopefully a lot more room, but you can see I just have these little small fittings that have to go, and I have so much more room for them now. Now the most important part of doing these is that I have room to actually get in there and tighten the thing down. And there's room on the other end for tightening down the coolant hoses. So I think that should give me enough on each end. All right, so this thing is looking really rad in its home right now. It's actually sitting there by itself, which is super cool. It actually needs to come forward a little bit. I'm gonna cut this thing down a teeny bit, where I just trim this and then lead it right across here. And then I'm gonna be able to cut this kind of triangle piece somehow. And I'll probably fill this corner in with weld a little bit, but bring the triangle down. I don't know, maybe weld it in the corner and try to weld out and kind of bend it around. I don't know yet. We'll see how that goes. But if I get it right, then this thing will be this kind of cool organic bend, which would be sweet. All right, so I am 90 minutes into this so far. And I have a philosophy when I'm fabricating or welding on flares, which is you take the win when you can get it. So I've got this piece now. The piece fits really well. I know I have to fabricate this piece, but I want to make sure that this thing stays where it's supposed to be. I'm going to take the win. I'm going to tack this thing in a couple of different spots and let it sit where it's supposed to be, and then start working on the triangle piece. Man, that looks cool as hell. That looks so rad. It just looks super cool in there. All right. Okay, same drill. I'm gonna try to fabricate from kind of a flat piece and then lay it over. It's definitely no problem if I have a little bit too much material, and I'm gonna, use a body hammer to smooth it out. And the goal is gonna be here to first tack it on the inside and have like a nice square. And then I'm gonna mold it down with raw, pure force. 'Cause you are huge! All right, just like before, I'm gonna take the win when I have it. Yeah, this top edge lines up really good right here. So I'm going to tack it. So now I can bend this. I'm gonna sort of keep taking the win as I go down here. So I've got one here, and I'm gonna get that just tacked in right there. Take the win. All right, welding is done. And now it's time for Grind Fest 2000. Be right back. All right, dudes, just like that. There we are. I think it looks awesome. You know, I could have gone really hardcore and continued to weld and welded the inside and made it so you literally just couldn't tell. But this is the undercarriage. The whole thing is going to get covered with undercoating. I'm not at all concerned about it. Like, this is no big deal, you know. I'll definitely have it sealed up. I'll put some seam sealer in there and you'll never know that I made it. All right, there we go, guys. That is this nice, customized, inset firewall mount. It just looks rad. And I have plenty of space for everything I need. I will, again, do test fit, but I'm pretty confident that now I have all the space I need to do what I need to do. All right, well, there's that. That thing turned out great. I hope you guys dug it. That's going to be it for this video. The next video I'm going to do is going to be on the inside of the car, on the tunnel next to the pedal cluster. I've got to create a piece that can be removable so I can get in there with wrenches to tighten these bulkhead fittings down. But then once it's done, can close over, put carpet over. You'll never know it's there. As always, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate the support and the subscription and the likes and the comments. You guys rock. See you next time.